Brexit talks have been going ahead despite coronavirus taking precedent in the EU and here at home. With time running out to agree a deal, will deadline be extended? Despite the ongoing effects of coronavirus, Brexit talks are pressing ahead, albeit with little progress being made as the UK and EU reach loggerheads. The process of negotiating the UK's way out of the EU still isn't over, despite the fact the country left the bloc earlier this year, just as coronavirus was first emerging in Europe. January 31 marked the beginning of the transition period for the UK leaving the EU. This means the UK is still in the single market, and must still uphold the rights of UK and EU citizens under agreements such as freedom of movement. The main objective for UK negotiators is to take back control, and Boris Johnson has refused to make any concessions in agreements and still wants a great relationship with our friends. But talks continue to stall and time is running out for the EU and the UK to negotiate a deal. If a deal is not secured by December 31 of this year, the UK will exit the single market without a deal. UK and EU negotiators have remained in talks throughout the coronavirus crisis, but they are still struggling to agree on key issues, with reports that the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier is growing tired with the UK's no-concession approach. Somewhat scarred by the 11th-hour decisions that characterized the first phase of talks before January 31, an agreement was reached that an optional 6-month extension could be put in place, but this must be activated by the UK within the next month. This deadline, looming on June 30, is enshrined in EU law, meaning if the UK doesn't take the option, it's do or die until December 31. However, a new report by the Institute for Government has outlined several ways an extension could be agreed after the deadline if both countries found at a later date that the negotiation period has been too short.